Banner ready. Both sides just about to come out onto the ground. Kickoff 3 o'clock. They've got it right on time here because the under-22s have just finished, and Edgeworth, the under-22 side, is still just walking from the pitch. I'll go through the lineups while we've got time. In goals for Edgeworth, the minor premiers. Number 1, Jim Fogarty. 2, Bray Smith. 4, Aidan Bryce. 6, Luke Walker. 18, Bren Hamill. 8, Josh Evans. 9, Brody Taylor. 11, Dylan Holes. 15, Pat Wheeler. 16, Lockie Pasquale. And 14, Justin Tannock. On the substitutes bench, number 3, Aaron McLaughlin. Number 10, Keanu Moore. 12, Brenton Olzema. Number 24, Ben Smith. And number 17, Dom Bazari. And 4, Hamilton. In goals, number 1, Danny Ireland. 3, Tom Davies. 4, Kyle Hodges, the captain. 6, Kane Goodchild. 7, Simon Mooney. 8, Jacob Bailey. 9, Andrew Swan. 10, Reece Cooper. 13, Mason Campbell. 14, Ben Coyner. 17, Pat Brown. And on the bench for them, 15, Cody Lucas. 18, Alex Serapar. 19, Jason Koritich. 20, Matt Harper. And 21, Josh Cox. So they're the lineups. Chris Turner joins me in the commentary box. Blake will be up here as well for today's game. And Chris, what are your thoughts on this contest that is about to unfold in front of us?
Should be a great game. The grand finals today is looking pretty good. The ground is actually quite heavy underfoot, but that should play into a game that's going to look like a central midfield battle. Both sides have had good defensive records this year. So, Ben, my thoughts are that the game will be really won and lost in the middle of the park.
Well, you have a look at these the minor premiership championship doubles. It hasn't been done very often. It was done in 2005 by Magic. They did the double. Then it was done again in 2011 by Magic and 2013 by Magic. So that since 1999, only Broadmeadow have been the sides to go back-to-back. The last time Edgeworth won the minor premiership was 2009. Hamilton won the grand final. 2006, Lake Macquarie won the grand final after Edgeworth were minor premiers. And in 2002, it was Highfields Azzurri, so the new Charlestown, after Edgeworth were the minor premiers. In 99 and 2000, Edgeworth were the minor premiers both years. Hamilton beat them in the grand final. So there's something about when Edgeworth are minor premiers, they're beaten in the grand final by Hamilton. We'll see if that unfolds in front of us today. And our referee in the middle, Trent Nash, he was the referee for Lambton versus Hamilton last week. And congratulations to him for being placed into the number 1 referee's role for today's match.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting, just seeing how they're lining up. So Olympic at 4, a 2, and 3. 1 I'm going to guess with Goody as he goes. Edgeworth's lineup is going to look like a 4-2. We've got 2 holders there. 1 sitting behind and 3 up front, essentially. So we've got Justin Tannock playing the middle up front, and he'll be winged. He'll be winged by a high right and a high left striking combination.
Well, Aidan Bryce is just clearing the field here after some of Hamilton's banner went on. Blake's also with us in commentary. Blake, great to have you with us for the grand final. Who's your tip for this afternoon's contest as we are underway? Brody Taylor with a run, and already physical contact between Bailey and Brody Taylor. What are your thoughts, Blake?
I'm going to go with Hamilton. I read a story in the paper during yesterday actually about all the Hamilton players who have lost grand finals or been injured or suspended for grand finals, but I think they're going to get there today. Edgeworth have been great all year, but my tip is definitely Hamilton.
There's an offside here against Hamilton. What about that early confrontation, Chris, early on in the contest? Straight off the kickoff, of physicality was evident.
That's what grand finals are all about. That these teams will be both looking to show each other that they're out there to definitely mix it up. No one's going to take a backward step today because there's no tomorrow in terms of this year. So what we'll expect to see is what we've seen in the last couple of weeks in the semi-finals, where it's been really physical early. These guys are going to push each other about. They're going to have elbows. They're going to put their bodies on the line, and then when the game settles in.
Well, here's Hamilton with a chance. Pat Brown gets right under that one. It goes into a little bit of miscommunication. Goodchild goes down in the box, but
And then when the
no
game
contact.
settles in, we'll start to see then some balls start to be pushed around a little bit. Under a heavier pitch today like it is, I think the guys probably midway through the second half will start to feel it, and we'll probably see the ball on the deck a bit more often.
As down on that far sideline was the number 14, Ben Coyner, who's starting for Hamilton. Blake, have you got any idea why Keanu Moore has been put to the bench for this afternoon's match?
I have no idea, actually.
It was
got an
crossed
abundance
out.
of players up front. Maybe he's just decided to go with Tannock instead of Keanu. Maybe Keanu Moore got injured in the warm up. I have no idea. I haven't talked to anyone about that.
I'm almost certain he must have been, because it is crossed out. He was ticked to be starting, and now he's gone to the bench.
Yeah, so I did have a talk to Coach Damien Zane last night, and he indicated that this may have been on the cards. Hadn't made up his mind, and purely was a tactical decision to mix it up like he's done pretty much all year.
As Fogarty goes up, takes it nicely above Coyner. Well, I spoke to Damien Zane at training on Friday, and I said, as a coach, having a successful year like this, how do you go into another season after being so successful and change it up? It's so hard to get stagnant and play the same way. And he said, well, I've got to change it up, and I think that's an example. Keanu Moore to the bench, and I don't think that's a bad idea, because he's got a lot of speed, he's got a lot of pace, and he's got a lot of skill, and he could cause some problems for Hamilton's defence late on in the game.
Look, as I said, the pitch is heavy. He's got choices. Tannock was looking for a free penalty there, but nothing. Yeah, so
Danny Island with the goal kick. Chris's microphone's just having a few issues.
sorry about that. Yeah, Justin Tannock looking for a penalty there that was never on, so nothing doing there, Justin. But as a player like that, with Keanu sitting on the bench, as the game progresses and the field's as heavy as what it is, he'll be able to do some real damage if he comes on second half. Things slow down a bit and maybe he's 5-10% fresher. It's going to make a huge difference on a day like today.
Well, the field has held up really, really well out there after two 19s and 22s. It was pretty wet this morning, and it's held up beautifully as Lockie Pasquale across the middle of the park finds Brent Hamill on the left. He's gone straight through him, Brent Hamill.
Yeah, it sure has held up well, and I was speaking to former Broadmeadow coach Damien Smith last night, and talking about the level and the depth that this club goes to week after week, year after year in the off-season to get the park to what it is. I mean, if you saw it, say, 20 years ago, it's a different looking proposition to what it is now, and it's a full credit to the club, all of the committee, and they just have a relentless flow of people that are volunteering. And as do all the other clubs as well, mind you. The huge amounts of efforts go into putting NPL teams together and clubs right through to the juniors. So it's a huge congratulations to all the clubs that have taken part this year.
Good child, almost a chance down the right. There's some interesting stats in this match. As I spoke about before, that stat that when Edgeworth win the minor premiership, Hamilton have done the job. Blake, do you just want to tell us a bit about that minor premiership, major premiership with Edgeworth and Hamilton?
Yeah, in the since 1999, Edgeworth have won 5 premierships, sorry. 3 of those premierships, Hamilton went on to win the grand final. So today would make it 4 from 6 if Hamilton were to win.
Yeah, that is incredible. Reece Cooper, try to find Coyner of our camera position here on the eastern side of Magic Park today for the grand final. We've got Hamilton to the left of us and Edgeworth to the right of us, so plenty of support. You can probably hear it through our effects mic, and had to go up. Edgeworth with the free kick.
And we've got a couple of injury concerns out in the park that are probably largely unnoticed. We've got, for Olympic, we've got Simon Mooney, who came off last week, which what we thought was a thigh, but in fact he's actually had a bit of a problem with his hip, and also a rib, which initially they thought was bruised, a bruised kidney, and we're treating it that way. But now it's actually find out it's actually his rib that's got a bit of an issue. So obviously he didn't want anyone to know about that in case there's a target on his back. And the other one out there in trouble, or potentially, is Brent Hamill for Edgeworth. He broke his nose last week, and that's the second time this year. So speaking to his coach last night, and he said that Zane said that laughingly his nose was all over his face. So he doesn't want to put his beak in the wrong place at the wrong time today, because it could really, really upset him.
Well, Luke Walker had some had a black eye due to that, so was certainly. Oh, Hamilton crashed into each other there. Reese Cooper, match winner from last week, but don't forget Pat Brown as well. He was just as much of a match winner, getting them back into the game. So match just cooling down a little bit here. 6.5 minutes gone in the grand final. First half, it's Hamilton and Edgeworth here on Bar TV. Aiden Bryce playing at the back today in defence. Andrew Swan goes all the way back to Danny Island. This season it was Edgeworth first, 40 points. Hamilton finished third on 36, although Hamilton had half the losses that Edgeworth suffered. They only had 2 losses. Hamilton, Edgeworth had 4. Here's Ben Coyner going for a run, trying to find Goodchild. He finds Mooney instead, who plays it back towards Coyner, who went close. And Jim Fogarty comes away with it. Now Justin Tannock. Back to Josh Evans. Across to Wheeler now.
We can see this game still at a cracking pace early. With the way that the players are going to go, we just hope that they settle in reasonably soon, so we see some good quality football on the deck. Good ball there from Tannock.
Tannock and Taylor trying to play a little 1-2 with each other. Justin Tannock with a couple of goals, 4 goals I should say this year. Goes back to Josh Evans now.
I think three or maybe 4 of those are off penalties. Is that right? Do they count?
Yes, I'm pretty sure they count, the penalties.
I'm sure he thinks so.
I didn't actually know that. That's interesting. He's the designated to us. Brent Hamill takes them as well, so got a couple as it goes down to Brent Hamill. And Brent Hamill, can he get it before it runs over the byline? He keeps it in beautifully. Diving in was Andrew Swan.
He may be wishing he crossed that one first time because he had some numbers at the back stick, or certainly in the mixer. Nevertheless, he'll go out there and have a look for this corner. We've seen a couple of corners that through the semi-final period that have been overhit and probably through adrenaline. So hopefully he'll put something in good position here, because they've got some timber in there.
Well, Trent Nash is going to have a chat to one of the Edgeworth players.
Tannock at the front stick, maybe a flick on, or maybe he's got some big guys at the back. It's a decoy.
Here's the header from Walker, and Holtz and Ireland come to blows. Well, there is a lot of feeling in this one. And Simon Mooney now. Still Simon Mooney over the top. Good choke, and he hold it up. Fogarty gets there, and Fogarty does well.
Yeah, good. He's so dangerous in those positions, because just a little half foot onto that ball anywhere and it just sends it somewhere, and that's where he's really dangerous.
Kyle Hodges sends a crowd killer towards the sideline, and Edgeworth with the throw now.
Got to mention it's Father's Day today. Younger crew in here in the commentary team. Happy Father's Day to everyone.
Yes, Blake was onto that early. In the under-19s fixture, it was a good contest. I shouldn't say that. It wasn't a great contest. 4-0 Magic knocking over Edgeworth. So Edgeworth 1 out of 2 today.
By the way, that entitles me to one dad joke. Father's Day before the game's out.
Brendan Hamill and Simon Mooney. I'm waiting for it. Maybe it'll come later.
It'll come now. We've got a second. So why did Cinderella get left out of the Edgeworth first grade lineup today?
What? Why was that? It's the ball over the sideline. Hamilton fans loving it.
Why did Cinderella get left out of Edgeworth's first grade side today? Because she kept running away from the ball. I knew that would work because my daughters cringed when I told them that way today. But fortunately for them, she was replaced by number 14, Justin Tannock.
I'm sure Justin will love that. As Pat Wheeler goes to ground. Now, Blake, you tipped against Edgeworth in all 3 games today. What are your thoughts on this one? Why do you think Hamilton have got too much for Edgeworth today?
I just think they got more experience. Like the young guys up front have been performing consistently all year, but I think in a grand final, it might be a bit too much for them. I know Hamilton have got some young players, but I think their older heads like Goodchild and Swan will get the job done today. They've got Bailey, Pat Brown and Ben Coyner, who have all played a grand final here and lost one before, so I think they'll be better from that. I just generally think they'll be too strong. They've got a great back line, and I think if they can jag an early goal, it'll be over from there. But it'll be an interesting game nonetheless.
There is an interesting stat that Craig Kerry was touching on in the paper, the Herald midweek, about the stat about Hamilton players in grand finals being unable to win, as that one goes straight to Danny Ireland.
Yeah, I've got the quote here. It was the Hodges and the twins, Andrew and Matt Swan, lost the 2008 grand final to Broadmeadow while with Azuri. Then they lost to Hamilton while with Phoenix the year after. Mick Bolch has lost the 2009 and 2012 grand finals. One with Valentine, one with Hamilton. Ben Coyner, Jacob Bale and Pat Brown lost in 2012 against Magic. Simon Mooney missed Magic's 2011 grand final because of suspension. And that year they beat South Cardiff, who Jason Koricic played for. Kane Goodchild was part of a Zurich 2008 loss, and Danny Ireland lost one in 2013. Obviously, he went on to win the year after, though. Also, another fact, it's not an NPL first grade grand final, but in the first year of the under-17s Colts, Reece Cooper was a member of the Hamilton Olympic under-17 side who lost to Valentine 2-1 in that game.
So has Mick Bolch won a grand final?
Not in this league. He has. I think he's won 2 in the second division.
Yeah,
but not in this one. I was speaking to him to Bolchy last night, and he seemed very relaxed, very focused on what if your coach is relaxed, it's going to set.
Another microphone issue, but just to mention, it is Damien Zane's first ever grand final as a first grade coach, and Mick Bolch, as you said, he hasn't won one yet in first grade.
Yeah, and I was going to say, a relaxed coach who sets the scene for the day, and I like the way he was going about it this morning and last night.
Here's Andrew Swan playing it back to Cooper, who goes down. There is an offside in the end. Wasn't originally, but referee Trent Nash has gone to his sideline official. He's called that one back. I'll just go through those referees that are on the sideline for today's fixture. Trent Nash in the middle, James Cleal and Glenn Pettican, and Andrew Digby is the fourth official. Last time I saw Andrew Digby ref was the round 16 clash, Western and Hamilton at Darling Street Oval.
So Kane Goodchild seems to be moving around. He hasn't trained all week. He's had some sort of virus, flu type thing. So he's had the week off, but probably not a bad thing for a guy like him because he's worked hard all year and just to freshen him up for the big one.
Here's Reece Cooper down this near side. Reece Cooper tries to stab one through for Pat Brown. Hasn't he been a revelation in the back half of the year, Pat Brown?
Yeah.
He's scored 5 this year, 19 overall over his career for Olympic in 55 appearances as Brodie Taylor goes down the right. Cuts it across Danny Ireland, but there was no one there.
Yeah, Pat Brown's been knocking on the door literally for a few years now, and probably about 3 years ago when we first saw him, certainly I did, he looked like a player of the future, and he certainly turned out that way, and now he's a real attacking weapon for Olympic.
Here's Goodchild and Walker coming together. I thought there might have been a handball there. Both of them sort of stopped. Referee Trent Nash didn't say anything about it, didn't blow up. Tom Davies goes towards Jacob Bailey, and now Simon Mooney.
You know, Blake was talking about Olympic as a team that he likes. I'm certainly that way as well in terms of the way it shapes up today. Both teams have been good in defence through the year. What I like about Olympic is the way they shape up through the middle of the park. You know, we spoke about Jacob Bailey as an example last week, where they're just going to work and work and work. Won't go away. Certainly Edgeworth have got some young feet that we're not going to stop on a pitch like this, but I really like the attacking shape of the Olympic lineup, you know, so being very strong through the middle of the park, and those weapons that they've got with Pat Brown, Goody and Simon Mooney. Love the look of that with Coyner sitting in behind it as well.
Runs over the sideline, and now a throw on that far side to Hamilton. How much do you think they're going to miss Matt Swan today?
Oh, he's been huge for them for a long time, and he is a blow. But I mean, the thing about any club, you've got depth in your club for a reason, and I don't think that Olympic are going to be any skinnier, but they're certainly going to miss him for sure.
Well, Matt Swan, he's played 82 matches for Hamilton, 11 goals for them. He scored 3 this year, 29 years of age. Of course, his identical twin, I'm almost certain, as we've the contest down there. Pasquale going back and knocking it up the ground. Andrew has played 73 games, 15 goals in his career. Hamilton now with a free kick. Hamilton fans are loving that.
Yeah, get ready for a Simon Mooney free kick here, I reckon.
Well,
we've seen him score a few, and I know a couple of games that we weren't at, he scored a few, so you're definitely backing to get one on target from here.
Well, he gets so much bend on the ball, doesn't he, Blake? He really can get that ball to dip from anywhere.
Well, it's a little bit greasy out there too, so why wouldn't he have a crack? I mean, he's a boy from Old Boy Bar that's really worked his way into this competition, and now standing up here with a ton of confidence. So, yeah, he's entitled to pull the trigger from there.
Well, here he is, Simon Mooney. Oh, Jim Fogarty did well. Gets up, punches it away. Swept clear there by Bray Smith. Andrew Swan with the header.
In the 22s game, didn't we, Ben, with that low, hard free kick, and it bounces up in that 18-yard box. There's a few bobbles in there.
It's interesting because the same thing happened in we'll just see what Coyne has got. He slices that one in the WPL Grand Final. That 18, whenever the ball bounced and it just shot up off the ground. It was incredible. So it seems to me like that 18-yard box, especially down the southern end of Magic Park or to the left of screen, has a little bit of extra bounce in it, even when it's wet. Jim Fogarty now with the goal kick. These two sides at Magic Park this year, Edgeworth have played 3 times. They won once, 2-1 against Magic in round 11. They had that draw against Magic, 3-3 first week of the finals. And then they lost one, that was against Melbourne City, 2-1. That was a fantastic performance from the Eagles. For Hamilton, last time they ventured to Broadmeadow, it was in round 1, a 0-0 scoreline that day. What seems an age ago now.
Dylan Holtz for Edgeworth has had a bit of a suspect hamstring over the last week or so, but he's trained Wednesday, Friday, and apparently all okay. So he seems to be moving out there all right now as well. Well,
I believe he was doing a fitness test when we were at training on Friday, Dylan Holtz, with one of the strength and conditioning guys at Edgeworth. I was thinking he may have been doing a fitness test, and that hamstring issue. Danny Ireland comes out. So live here on Bar TV. It's 20 minutes gone. Edgeworth 0, Hamilton 0.
Yeah, I wonder if that hamstring injury's been taking a toll on him already in this game, because we saw Reece Cooper get a little runaway before over halfway, and Holtz was the one running after him trying to catch him, and he didn't get near him. He pulled up a little bit short, and usually he's such a quick customer up front. He looks to be moving freely now, but earlier on in the game he didn't.
Well, Blakey has a lot of strapping on that left hamstring, as we got an offside against Edgeworth. Yeah, he has strapping on that left hamstring, and a hamstring is such a touchy an injury, because the last time I can remember a hamstring injury of note was Diego Costa for Atletico Madrid. A couple of years ago, Champions League final, they risked him. He was injured 18 minutes in, had to come off, and that's one sub gone 18 minutes into a game. So be interesting to see. We're 20 minutes in, and Dylan Holtz, as you said, Blake, seems to be labouring a little bit, but once it gets warm, maybe it might maybe a bit easier for him.
And maybe that's a reason why they've left Keanu Moore on the bench, to someone to come on if Holtz isn't up to it and provide a little bit of speed.
Talking to Damien Zane last night, he said that he saw him jump in a way at training. If he was going to have an issue with his hamstring, something would have happened then. He said right there and then that's when he's okay to play. He knew he'd be okay. Still heavily strapped, and as you guys have just pointed out, maybe not as free as what he might normally be.
Tannock getting a tug from Bailey, and Trent Nash says, "I'll give you the free kick, Justin." And Edgeworth with the free kick, probably halfway into, a little bit past it. little bit further than halfway into Hamilton's half. And Bren Hamill, well, we've seen him score from free kicks this year, probably not this far out. And in the wall is Coyner and Reece Cooper. Here he comes, whips it in, Bren Hamill towards the back post. Evans with the header. Danny Ireland with the save. He did well, Danny Ireland. Throws it out. Pat Wheeler. Gee, that was great vision. Great reading of the play from Pat Wheeler. Another free kick goes against Jacob Bailey. Man of the match last week here on Bar TV.
Yeah, it's a good example of being first to the ball, and if you can do that as a defender, you're going to make it hard for the attack, because you just know then as a striker you're going to have someone right there with you all the time. You just don't get any peace. So good piece of defending there, and more of that from Edgeworth I think will help them a long way. It's probably too far to hit. He's going to put something in, probably in line with the penalty spot, and I'd say just beyond the wall if he was to hit it perfectly. It's most dangerous position, and that's exactly where it goes.
Yeah, there's the header across. Hamilton, I think it was Kyle Hodges that got the left boot around it, and it allows Pat Brown some space down this near side. Goes to Kane Goodchild. Kane Goodchild sees Fogarty off his line, who almost slipped over in that 18-yard box. Rolls it out to Pat Wheeler, and that was smart thinking from Goodchild. He caught Fogarty a little bit unawares. He just didn't get under it enough. And the throw now to Goodchild. Holding off Pat Wheeler nicely. Back to Brown. Into the back of Aiden Bryce. And Damien Zane has moved Aiden Bryce back into the back to the defence. He moved up front a little bit, and now he's gone back. Here's Mooney spinning and just didn't get enough on it. Fogarty, a good save. And Chris and Blake, what have you guys made of the opening 23 minutes of the game?
This is a great typical first grade grand final where typically fast is hard. In conditions like this, it's a little bit scrappy and these guys are fighting it out. Very, very even right now. Both teams have been having pretty similar sorts of opportunities, so nothing too much in it yet.
Here's Pasquale with a shot. What have you thought, Blake, of these opening half of the first half?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's everything I thought it was going to be. Both keepers looking fine form is one observation I'll make. Danny Ireland has high expectations on himself, but he's looked extremely comfortable, which he would have expected. Jim Fogarty down the other end, apart from that bouncing free kick, I think he's held on to everything as well. So I think it's going to take something special today to beat one of these keepers.
Yeah, and I'm liking the way that Goody's going about himself today. He's a big game player and he's held the ball up particularly well so early in the game. So I'm looking for a really big game from him. I think that he's going to bring other players into the game as he holds the ball up in like slippery conditions. So he's been there before in terms of his experience. He knows how to score goals and he knows how to set other people up. So with him, the way he's shaping today, I know he'd be pumped for this one. So hopefully he's going to provide some entertainment for us as the game progresses.
Yeah, he's already tried a 30-metre shot just about 5 minutes ago, so he's telling Jim Fogarty, stay on your toes because I'm going to bring it all to you today.
Another great take there from Danny Ireland. Blake was just touching on both keepers. Very good in the opening 24 and a half minutes. Goodchild now and Evans down the side. Get over the sideline now. Both Hamilton and Edgeworth areas on this side very packed out. Southern end is pretty packed, not as packed as the northern end, and I'm almost certain that the northern end isn't as packed out because it's the alcohol-free zone. So I think that may be the reason why there's not as many down the northern end of the ground. Andrew Swan, the two nines come together, free kick, and this is good territory now for Brodie Taylor. Not for Brodie Taylor, Simon Mooney.
Yeah, Simon. Look, he's certainly some distance out, but as I said before, probably worth a try again. Similar tactic, because if it's spilt again from Fogarty, then brings the opportunities to score, of course. So, why not put one in there and see how you go? His big challenge to get it in and around the wall.
Here we go, Simon Mooney dipping at Fogarty. He'll gobble that one up every day of the week, and he does well. So, yeah, just looking back at these past grand finals. Broadmeadow and Hamilton back to 2007. The only sides that have won it, other than Broadmeadow and Hamilton, till back to 2007, were Lambton last year and Edgeworth in 2010. free kick goes Edgeworth's way. So it's hard to break that, break those two sides away from winning the competition. So Edgeworth will break a trend. And of course, the last 2 years, if they do win, it'll be 2 years in a row that either Broadmeadow or Hamilton hasn't won the competition, and that hasn't happened since back 02-03 when Highfields, Azuri and Edgeworth won it back-to-back. Not back-to-back, but Highfields won it 02 and Edgeworth in 03. So that dominance, Magic and Hamilton, it is incredible. Lockie Pasquale with the free kick.
Something else that Edgeworth can accomplish today, since before 1999, the only sides who have won the double in this competition is Broadmeadow Magic. They've done it 3 times. No other sides finished as premiers and won the grand final other than Broadmeadow. So Edgeworth can do that here with a win.
Here's Danny Ireland up over halfway.
I heard somewhere as well, I can't remember exactly where it was, that the last side to win all 3 grand finals on the one day was Western. Obviously Edgeworth can't complete that today, but that's something that they were going for. The club should be extremely proud. They got into all 3 grades into the semi-finals, all 3 grades into the grand finals.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Even if Edgeworth did lose all 3, if they looking at the start of the day, if they did, it's still an incredible achievement. Although that didn't happen, they won the 22s, knocking over the Jets youth. Danny Ireland, this is not going to sit for him. That's it's a shocker. Danny Ireland clears it over towards our commentary position. You just saw it. It was sitting up. It was spinning back, and you thought, well, he's not going to grab this because it's going to spin away. Yeah, Andrew Swan. Well, he has a good little fall to the ground. Brody Taylor and Andrew Swan come together, and Brody Taylor goes into the referee's books. Yellow card.
Yeah, Swanee's not going to be happy with that. He was just trying to play some safety back into the keeper, and his personal care is coming to scrutiny, and he knows it, so definitely not happy with that.
Brody Taylor with 5 goals this year, 5 last year. Juniors at South Cardiff. And he was in the 2013 under-23s grand final with Edgeworth, back when it was the 23s. Hayden Bryce up with the header, and Wheeler away, so Edgeworth with the free kick. Is that correct, Blake, that it was 23s before they brought in the NPL competition, and then it was moved back to 22s? Is that right?
I think when they changed it to the NPL, they did 2 years of 23s and then 2 years of 22s. I think the goal was to make it then 2 years of 21s, but I'm not sure if that's still happening or not. The NPL's been in place since 2000.
Great ball from Tom.
Brent Hamill now with a chance. He's on the end of it, and good defence there from Hamilton. Bailey and Hamill coming together, and Jacob Bailey does well for Hamilton. Walker comes across. Holst now to Hamill. Hamill down this right-hand side for Edgeworth. Cutting it across. Ireland can't get there. Well, he didn't get there. Brody Taylor in. Corner kick. It's all happening, and Danny Ireland's down. You'd have to think, collected with some sort of studs from Brody Taylor. And we'll just take a deep breath and wait for Brent Hamill's corner, but Danny Ireland's in a little bit of strife.
That initial movement from Justin Tannock, a great ball through in over the top. The scrambling defence of Hamilton. This is what makes grand finals what they are, when teams are ready to go at that length of defending as they did. So terrific movement there, and hopefully Ireland's okay. Had a straight swap in today for Bray Smith coming into side from Aaron McLaughlin. So another interesting decision there from Damien Zane.
So their head-to-heads, their last 7 meetings, it's been Edgeworth who've been on the receiving end. Hamilton 3, Edgeworth with 2 in the last 7 and 2 draws, but Edgeworth only had 1 in the last 6 before their win in round 12 this year. Here's Brent Hamill. From 92 to 2015, they've played 60, Olympic 21, drawn 14, Edgeworth 25. So Edgeworth shade Olympic in a head-to-head over from 92 to 2015. Here is Brent Hamill. Whips it towards the back post. Mason Campbell's there with the head. Knocking away. Brody Taylor heads it back in. Davies. Now Bailey. Lovely ball. Split them perfectly. Wheeler and Pat Brown come together, and Nash gives it against Pat Brown. And it is a very physical contest, Chris. We've seen
sure
it first.
Pat Brown's ready to He's ready to play here today, and you can see that with the intent. Yeah, sure, it was a free kick, but he's definitely wanting to play, and that's going to see him. I'm sure he's going to be unloading down through the park as often as he can.
All right, even interesting, a more interesting stat that I've come across is overall goals scored against each other. Olympic 101, Edgeworth 103. So that shows when Hamilton do beat Edgeworth, because Edgeworth have 4 more victories, they do it in a big way.
Yeah, just on that, there's another stat to go with it. This season, Edgeworth have conceded more than 1 goal in a single game, just 4 times. Round 2 against Olympic, round 3 against Magic, 14 against Adamstown, and round 17 against the Jets. Of those 4 matches, they lost 3. So it would suggest that if Hamilton scored 2 or more, they're a huge chance of winning today. On the other hand, however, Edgeworth have scored 2 or more goals in a single game 14 times this season, and of those 14 games, they've won 13. So, based on Edgeworth's season history, the side that scores 2 goals today will win this one.
Well, this is even more interesting. There's plenty of interesting stats on this game, but here's another one. Neutral venues, grand finals, they've met twice. Edgeworth have not won. Hamilton won both those grand finals. They've played 9 finals matches. Olympic have won 5, Edgeworth 2, and they've drawn 2. And penalty shootouts have played once, and Hamilton won that. So they have the wood over Edgeworth in finals matches.
That's interesting. I've been concentrating on the players' diets this week, making sure they're all in order, checking with both the coaches. It's interesting they've both been drinking a lot of tea. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, both clubs have been drinking a lot of tea. You know what sort of tea it was? Penalties. That's my second and last dad joke. Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all you dads. Ben's cringing over the corner just like my children did today.
I think that's gold, to be honest. I love a good dad joke.
We should start a Jokes with Chris Turner segment on Bar TV. Unfortunately, we're not live today. We were back. Graham Law was bagging us out last week. He said he was turning off our coverage because of poor coverage. We've got to tell him. You got to watch this whole match back on Bar TV and have a listen to Chris's jokes. And Edgeworth with the free kick. Brent Hamill is about to stand over it. So here is Brent. So 34 gone. 34 gone, Edgeworth, and Hamilton locked up at 0-0 here on Bar TV. Kyle Hodges heads it away. Holtz gets there low with the head. Pasquale goes high and distorting his body there around the other way, facing the other way, and he got it round. Good skill there from Pasquale. Been a revelation for Edgeworth this year. The number 16, Bryce, gets under it. And Hodges does well to let it slide through. Danny Ireland playing it out to Tom Davies. Played his juniors at Cardiff and South Cardiff. Macquarie rep as well, and was also in New South Wales Institute of Sports squads, and currently in Year 12 at high school. So HSC coming up soon for him, and what a great opportunity in this grand final, just 18 years of age.
These are the things we were talking about with Jacob Bailey last week. A win like that, probably unnoticed, gets it away, and Hamilton are now transitioning to the top third, with possession. So that's the sort of thing that Hamilton want to get on the ball with a lot of today.
Well, here's Bryce playing it back to Fogarty, and that's exactly right. There's so many players that do those little 1%ers go unnoticed. Here's Bailey again, winning that header, playing it to Goodchild, who flicked it over. Pat Brown, I think, was just offside. And now Bray Smith. Now, Blake, we were at that game where Edgeworth won 3-1 against Hamilton. Hamilton didn't show in the opening 45 minutes, and then the second half they fought back. What do you think has changed? Pat Brown didn't have a great day that day. What do you think has changed for him to be such a fantastic player over the last half of the season? Do you think it was that game just gave him a bit of a kick up the bum?
I remember reading a story in the paper the day after he scored a hat-trick against Western, and I think it was pretty much Bolchi told him one training session that he needs to start performing, or he might find himself on the bench. And then that weekend, after Bolchi made those comments to him, he bagged a hat-trick against the Western. Chris was commentating that game, and they won 5-1. So I think that's really where his season turned around, that little talk from Bolchi during the week before the Bears game.
Yeah, sometimes a coach can make a huge difference on a player when he has that type of discussion. And, sometimes players will think they're going okay and they get into a bit of a coasting sort of mode, or they think they're doing enough and aren't really pushing themselves enough. So a conversation like that, turns things around sometimes. And why not? If he's good enough to take that opportunity, and obviously here he is today doing what he's doing.
Edgeworth, another free kick in good range. They've probably had a few more than what Edgeworth have had, what Hamilton have had, I should say, in the opening 37 minutes of this one. It's Brent Hamill again in 18 today, normally in 7, so I'm not sure what's happened to the number 7 for Edgeworth, but must have gone missing.
You look for a similar position here, just beyond the defence if he can.
Here it is,
and doesn't
slow.
do so.
Yeah, not one of his best there, and Pasquale sits up for him. Tried to play it for Tannock, but didn't quite get there. Hamilton did well. Pasquale, strong for young player, 18 years of age, and has been nominated for Rookie of the Year for this year. Mason Campbell. Now Luke Walker. Still Luke Walker holding it up, going to Tannock. Playing to Holes. Nice ball to Brodie Taylor.
Yeah, he made his first grade debut in a 5-0 win in the FFA Cup over South Cardiff, and Coach Damien Zane said to me during that week that he has no regrets about playing him. He slotted him well, and then when the NPL rolled around, he was playing him as a replacement for Luke Walker, and now the pair are playing there together in the midfield and doing a great job, and one that helped win their side of premiership this year.
Here's Aiden Bryce, a little chip and chase. Kyle Hodges getting back into Bryce. Collected Hodges. Didn't think there was that much in it, but enough in the referee's opinion to give a free kick.
Not a whole lot, but he was the last man in defence, so if he didn't get that right, Edgeworth is through. So good work there. Put his body on the line and make sure that he got the job done there.
Now here's Coiner. Swan. Over the top now for Reece Cooper. Josh Evans. Free kick now to Edgeworth. So ticking closer to half-time. Almost 39 minutes gone here. Grand final in the NPL 2015. Edgeworth 0, Hamilton 0. Those scores from earlier today. It was 4-0 to Magic in the under-19s over Edgeworth. And then in the 22s, it was 3-3, a penalty shootout, which was won by Edgeworth. Ben Smith, the hero, with a save at the back end of that shootout. Both sides had missed one previously, and then Ben Smith, great save. And Edgeworth fans give it to Pat Brown. Let that one trickle past and over the sideline.
I was just talking to Steve Smythe before kickoff today, and he said what a great job you guys have done all year in Bar TV. He said, welcome back to the Duke of Wellington Hotel after the game. Free drinks for you boys, he said. Thanks, Steve.
Brilliant.
Really appreciate that.
No, that's
Steve,
awesome.
Us.
No, we'll
do a good job, and hopefully more people like our coverage as well, and we'll be back bigger and better in 2016.
Well, Stephen's sons, I'm pretty sure, in my brother's year, and they went to school. They're in the same year at New Lambton Public School, Rory. So, is Rory playing for Magic at the moment? Is he playing for Broadmeadow?
I couldn't tell you that, not sure.
Or Lambton. It's either Broadmeadow or Lambton, I'm thinking, unless he's switched around. So, thanks for that, Stephen.
Yep, it's Stephen from the Duke, and his brother Trevor is my long-term coach at West Walls End. So we stay very close to their families. It's good to see them here today.
Brodie Taylor putting it into the side netting, but it didn't matter because there's a free kick. It was already going to Hamilton. Danny Ireland strolling out to take it. But an intriguing first half, a great atmosphere here. Edgeworth and Hamilton fans are making it a great day for all here at Broadmeadow Magic's home ground. And Broadmeadow Magic staff, they've been awesome the whole year. They've helped us out, and thanks to all of them as well. And every club's been awesome to us this year. There's good child now. They'll play it through. Josh Evans. Hamilton fans asking for the free kick. baying for it, not given. Walker now, stepping, almost falling over, getting back up. Luke Walker plays it wide. Played for
Tannock.
Played for Oakley in Victoria as Luke Walker in a couple of grand finals. They made it through to the quarterfinals of the FFA Cup midweek with a 1-0 win over the Metro Stars. Here's Pat Wheeler. Free kick goes against him and Edgeworth now. Aiden Bryce. The poor free kick straight to Tom Davies. And now it sets up for Hamill out of nowhere. And he pulls it wide. Well, I don't know what happened there. The free kick went straight to Davies, and then I just zoned out. And all of a sudden, Brett Hamill was pulling the trigger.
Just shows you how quickly things can happen. Just from one moment, one lapse, and all of a sudden it's a shot on goal. Crowd here are unbelievably vocal behind us, and they're loving the afternoon. This is really good football, and the way that grand finals are played in this fashion, that's why we love it.
Over the top. Good child. Evans now. Now with Hodges. Reese Cooper stabbing one over the top. Simon Mooney down the far sideline. I'll tell you what, if the match was a battle of who's got the loudest fans, I think Hamilton are winning by a mile at the moment. I can't hear much of the Edgeworth. We are a little bit closer to Hamilton, but I still can't hear them as loud.
And definitely the Olympic crew are absolutely vocal.
I think there might be I'm thinking there's a few more Olympic fans to the left than we've got Edgeworth at the right, but that's only from sight. I'm not 100%. Reese Cooper now back to Kyle Hodges. So we're ticking close to half-time. In the grand final, it's locked up. Ben Coyner stepping, goes to the shot. Evans does well, and now Brodie Taylor has got Tannock, and he's also got Brent Hamill. Tannock's got no one around him. The flag goes up. Justin Tannock and Danny Ireland with the save.
Yeah, it's one of those things as a striker where Tannock's running on the ball there. He's got to time his run absolutely perfectly. He's got to know exactly when the ball's going to be hit and exactly when he can go beyond his defender. On that occasion, for me, he went 1 metre too early, probably without need. So he'll have a look at that tomorrow and maybe a fraction disappointed. But that's how quickly things change in a grand final. It's down in Olympics territory 1 minute, and then it's down Edgeworth's goals at the other. So end-to-end football at the moment.
Tannock and Andrew Swan just having a little bit of a chat. Holtz and Kyle Hodges come together. Oh, Hodges holding on to Holtz's head. Wasn't happy with him.
I was just about to say a minute ago, Ben, how Hodges has had a great game, similar to what Bailey was doing last week, going largely unnoticed but really getting the job done, and hopefully that hasn't ruffled him up too much.
Here's a lovely ball from Brent Hamill to Brodie Taylor.
Swanee again in there with a great tackle.
Dylan Holes now. Just a goal kick in the end. So almost half time here. 10 seconds to go in regulation time in the first half at the home of Broadmeadow Magic Park. Here is Danny Ireland. Here's Walker. Swan now. Coyner flicking it on to Cooper. Josh Evans, good tackle. Just the 1 minute of added time. Fourth official indicating that one, Josh Evans. Now Brent Hamill. Playing it back to Evans. Bailey collected there by Evans, and free kick the final moment. So 30 seconds to go.
And Brent Hamill's really impressed me this half. The fact that he's got a broken nose, which apparently is all over his face. He hasn't pulled out of anything. He's been in everything. He's nearly scored. He's defended very well, and he's certainly put his body on the line. So, very, very gutsy effort from him to be out there doing what he's doing. Free kick to Hamilton.
So deep.
I was going to say probably not too much after this free kick, so they'll be looking to get something in as Brent Hamill did earlier. Someone's going to put something in. He needs to go just beyond the defence here. He needs to get over the defence, and you can see Edgeworth has stacked the back of the back line with tall timber. Walker, Tannock, etc. They're all in there.
Leroy Swan, another low one again. The free kicks from that position haven't been great. Trent Nash says that's all she wrote for the first half. And it's Edgeworth and Hamilton all locked up at 0-0 in the 2015 NPL Northern New South Wales Grand Final here on Bar TV. And Chris, what were your thoughts on the opening 45?
Yeah, most people are going to talk to are going to say the game is should be close today, and we've just seen first half of that. Although we've seen some opportunities, really I'm expecting some goals in the second half based on that. We've had it in, it was quick, it was physical, a couple of early hard tough tackles, but now I think the game will settle back in probably after about 15 minutes when we'll see things open up, I believe. And at that point, that's our best chance for goal, so he's hoping for that.
We're going to take a quick break here on Bar TV. We will be back in about 10 minutes' time for the second half action. At halftime in this one, it's Hamilton 0, Edgeworth 0. So welcome back to the second half. Just about to get underway. Edgeworth and Hamilton locked at 0-0 at half-time. Hamilton first out of the blocks again. They seem to come out of half-time early. Lambton were a bit late last week, and so were Edgeworth. So referee Trent Nash in the middle, getting ready to get us underway. Coiner and Goodchild in the middle of the park. Big crowd in here at Magic Park. Which has been of the highest quality so far. Goodchild. Back to Reescoop. We're underway, second half, grand final of the NPL in 2015, and Mooney and Bray Smith going up against each other early on. Back to Fogarty now. And going over the sideline, all the Hamilton faithful right behind Jim Fogarty in goals. They going to be giving it to him, you'd think, throughout the half. Edgeworth fans haven't decided that they'd go behind Danny Ireland. So it'll be an interesting banter going on between them and Jim Fogarty at the start of the second half. So, Chris, what do you think both coaches have said to their players out there and at half-time?
I think when you're in half-time in a situation like this, what you've got to be saying is defence has got to stay strong. So, first of all, let's not concede, because we go one behind, we've got to score two. Today's all about winning. Defence is everything. Having said that, probably each coach, knowing both of them, they're probably going to be telling them to play as much as they can down the other end of the park, because when it's a bit slippery, things can happen, mistakes can happen. So, Olympic in this situation, they play the ball in. Edgeworth will want to get down there and as quickly as they can so that they can get an opportunity on goal.
Here's Mooney getting under it. Evans with a good header away. Sits up for Swan, who hits it wide.
It's kind of like each time this happens, now Edgeworth take a little bit of a sigh, a bit of a relief. Okay, now we can release the pressure and get ourselves out.
Jim Fogarty getting under it. Bailey and Tannock. Bailey did well to knock it up. Aiden Bryce with the header across to Holes. Holes flicking it on towards Justin Tannock. When do you think these coaches are thinking about substitutions, Chris?
Yeah, but I'm going to say maybe around the 10 to 15 minute mark we might see a change. Change for me might look like a Justin Tannock might come off. Guys that are slightly bigger.
Here's Brodie Taylor, nice juggling skills. Hodges trying to get it clear, but it's pinball around in the box. Now Aiden Bryce sitting up for Luke Walker. Hodges trying to clear it away. Hodges goes down. And well defended. Well, I'm not going to say well defended, actually. It was well dealt with in the end. They got it away, but it was a little bit scrappy from Hamilton at the back.
Yeah, what it's saying, someone like Tannock might be a person that would come off. Just guys that have worked very hard and the heavy conditions aren't going to suit. But yeah, around that 10 to 15 minute mark might be the time.
Do you think any reason behind Keanu Moore starting on the bench today, Chris, is because of that heavy ground? Maybe don't want to risk him, and if it does go into extra time, you got those extra legs.
Yeah, he's a player that can change things when he comes on. So, look, Damien Zane's proved something to everyone this year, that he's not afraid to mix it up. When I did ask him about it last night, what did he say? It'll either be a master stroke or a stroke of stupidity or something to that effect. But I mean, that's what I like about him. He's prepared to make some risks.
He has the guts to take it on.
I know other coaches will say, right, I'm not going to change a winning team or a winning combination. What he's done this year is he's kept them guessing, the players. When you've got that in your group and players can accept that they've got to be rotated, then it probably it makes it more competitive at training.
Here's Brodie Taylor. Dylan Holtz with some space, and Brodie Taylor's ball wasn't great across to Holtz. It's going to run over the sideline. He said it does. Holtz can't keep it in. Edgeworth with the big jackets on there, taking them off and gone for a run. Keanu Moore over there. Bazari as well. Aaron McLaughlin. And it really does seem to me, Aaron McLaughlin as well on the bench today in this game, and Olsmer as well. You've got those, not Olsmer, but especially Aaron McLaughlin and Keanu Moore. You've got those short, fast, fit players who are on the bench. And I think Damien Zane is thinking extra time back into that game, need a bit more speed.
Yeah, and if that goes that way, that could be the real key and the difference for them. Let's not forget about Bray Smith. I mean, Bray, he's been working in Sydney through this year, and so he's missed training, I'm guessing, here and there. And so that's been the reason that he's been not starting regularly. But this guy, don't forget, he's been picked in Northern New South Wales sides in previous years. He's very quick. He's got the ability to get past people and swing some great crosses in. So, they don't miss anything by bringing him in. If part of the strategy is to go into extra time, we're going to have some reserves there, then, he's certainly setting Edgeworth up well to do that.
Danny Ireland getting under it, slicing it. Edgeworth fans have their chance to give it to him off Davies and over the sideline. Here's Tannock. Little back heel to Bren Hamill into the box. Bren Hamill turning. Still with Hamill. Goes back to Tannock. Tannock and Jacob Bay. A little bit of push and shove. Tannock back to Aiden Bryce. Across the ground. Looking for Dylan Holes. Gets a head on it and over for a goal kick.
And good skill there from Tannock, because he's doing something for Edgeworth that Goodchild does for Olympic. And that's he's a target man. He's not going to give the ball away easy. He's hard to get it off him. He's got arms and legs everywhere, and he'll be strong on it, and he'll get something away more often than not. So good skill from him, and it was a good chest, 2 moves before that.
Reece Cooper on the ball now for Hamilton. Stabbing it across towards Goodchild, who has some space. Kane Goodchild. And he gives away the free kick. I think a handball there. Well, Blake, where do you think these two sides go from here? The nil-all scoreline. Where do you think they go to?
As you were just touching on, I think they've both got a lot on the bench. I'd be surprised if it finishes 0-0. I think they've both got a lot more in the tank. Remember one Bar TV game that we did with Edgeworth? It was early back in the season. Remember Aaron McLaughlin came on off the bench and absolutely killed it. Got a near man of the match performance. So I don't see this ending 0-0 at all.
Well, Aaron McLaughlin off the bench, he's been outstanding this year for Edgeworth, more so than when he started.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what that game was you and I did. It might have been against the Jaffers, maybe Magic at home.
It was the Jaffers. It was the game against the Jaffers.
He came off the bench at about the 60-something minute and had a big impact on the game.
Thought that was a handball there against Bailey, but it has been given. Edgeworth with the free kick. It was a definite handball.
Yeah, no reason to complain there, Bales. He's got no handball there. So it puts Edgeworth in a reasonable position here. And we've said it in the last 2 free kicks. It's got to go beyond the wall, and the last 2 haven't. So we'll see how Bren goes with this one.
Trent
Maybe
Nash.
because the ball was flat.
Trent Nash getting rid of that one pretty quickly. They got a decent drop kick on him there. Bren Hamill standing over it. See what he's got this time. A little bit of a hush now over the crowd.
Walker and Tannock are the far 2 for Edgeworth.
Well, here is Bren Hamill. Goes near Walker.
Yeah,
Josh
and that looked
Evans.
a deliberate low placement. So interesting free kick there from Hamill.
And just the goal kick in the end. So decent opportunity, but just goes over. Great to have your company here on Bar TV. 53 minutes gone in the grand final, the NPL 2015. Hamilton and Edgeworth, 0-0. Pretty wet pitch out there, a heavy one. No substitutions made by either side just yet. And only the 1 yellow card from memory. That was the 28th minute, Brodie Taylor. I don't think there's been any more yellow cards. Have you seen any more yellow cards than just that one to Brodie Taylor, Blake?
No, I haven't.
He's Goodchild with some space, actually. Tried to play it through. Josh Evans with, thought a handball, but he's pulled it back a little bit.
Swan's asking the question. He's certainly not happy with that. Again, the range, do you hit it or do you go over the top? I think I think Simon may actually strike this one.
Here is Mooney.
Yeah.
Oh, gee. A shocker.
That's not his best.
No.
He was looking for some left to right with top spin on that one, if I can read him correctly. I've known Simon since he's been about 16 years old. When I met him up, he was playing for Old Bar. I was living up in the mid-north coast and saw him as a young player back then that, you know, in my mind was capable of playing in the A-League if he directed his life that way. And he's certainly turned out to be a player of top shelf.
Just had a substitution there with Keanu Moore coming on for Dylan Holes.
Yeah, Dylan Holes, as we were saying, labouring a bit with that hamstring, and he's been taken off. Keanu Moore going on, so he's going to add a little bit of spark as Simon Mooney goes down this near side. Evans getting across. Simon Mooney wins the ball. Reece Cooper. Still Reece Cooper. Reece Cooper cutting inside. Evans getting back, and now Bray Smith.
Great defence from Edgeworth there. Well held up from Tannock, rolled it off to Hamill.
Nice ball from Brent Hamill across.
Some ball, Bren.
Across to Brodie Taylor. He's got no one with him, Brodie Taylor. The cavalry's coming back now. It plays it back to Bryce, who goes down, and it's been given us a penalty. Trent Nash points to the spot, and I don't think I can disagree from what I saw there. We'll go, Chris, you first. Was it a penalty?
Look, I'm going to call it a penalty, but geez, he's unlucky because he's up in the air and he's just got a tiny piece of him, and that's enough to make the pen be what it is.
What did you think? Blake, did you think it was a penalty or not?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There was contact there, and he would have been away nearly on goal.
Well,
you can't not give it a penalty.
Well, here we go again. Brent Hamill, he scored a couple here at Magic Park. One down this end. He had one save down the other end. He scored another one down the other end against Melbourne City in the FFA Cup. So here he is, the number 18 for Edgeworth. Brent Hamill steps up and sends Danny Ireland the wrong way. And Brent Hamill scores again when Edgeworth need it most. 11 minutes into the second half, and Brent Hamill grabs his 8th goal of 2015, and I don't think there's been many more important than that, Chris.
Look, that's just such an important goal on a day like today. The thoughts now are, Edgeworth, what do? You're going to go and attack some more? I hope so, or you're going to sit in and hold it. We've only been going 10 minutes. There's a huge amount in this game. And with substitutions just come on at around the 10-minute mark, which we thought they would, we've certainly got some exciting football in front of us. But a great finish there from Hamill.
Pat Brown going down. Edgeworth now with the free kick.
Okay, so if things were desperate early in the game like they were, you saw how tense it was and how physical it was. You watch Olympics step up for the next 5 minutes, this thing will really fire up.
Here's Ireland, a bit of pressure on him. Hamill getting down
Speed's
there.
already quicker than what it was prior to the goal.
Tom Davies up the line. Reece Cooper. Josh Evans goes down, and Hamilton with a throw. Blake, how do you think Edgeworth will play now that they've got the goal? Do you think they'll go any different to what they were at 0-0?
I don't think they should. I don't know if they will or not, but I definitely don't think they should. They should keep going. It's got them to 1-0, and there's still so long to go. So,
well, here's it back for Bailey. Pat Wheeler trying to get it clear. Still Pat Wheeler. He's got Justin Tannock's the furthest man up the ground. And Hamill getting a knock in the face from Davies.
This may not be good. We know his nose is broken. We'll keep an eye on this one.
Well, Brent Hamill is clutching at that nose. As you said, Chris, it is broken. And Tom Davies definitely got him in the nose.
Yeah, look, he's got to be really careful, and he's offside. But he's got to be really careful with that. And as I said before half-time, he's not pulled out of anything, and that was an example. He's ready. This is a grand final. He's got his body on the line.
Let's have a look down here at Kane Goodchild. He's looking a little bit ginger. He's not moving as freely as he usually has been in this game after that challenge. Just down to the right of screen. Looks to be... he may have walked it off now.
You can sense the desperation for Olympic here now. 1-0 down, grand final, second half.
Josh Evans with the header away, out of danger. Brodie Taylor. It's been such an even contest, but neither side has had the running. Here is Keanu Moore playing to Brodie Taylor. Andrew Swan and Brodie Taylor shoulder to shoulder. And Danny Ireland. Oh, Danny Ireland's had a shocker. It's come off the side of his boot. And gee whiz, I've never seen Danny Ireland have a moment like that. Everyone just seemed to hold their breath here at Magic Park. They couldn't believe what they'd seen, and pressure does some funny things, Chris.
That was going to go absolutely anywhere, and it was just purely fortunate for Olympic. That just fell the right way for them.
Now a ball over the top corner after it. Now back for Goodchild. Goodchild still. Kane Goodchild on the ball. Can he turn it around now for Hamilton? Goodchild sits up for Pat Brown, and he knocks it into the Hamilton crowd behind the goals. And we've got another change. It's another one for Edgeworth. It's Olsmer on and Tannock off.
Yeah, as predicted, Tannock going off. Look, Hamilton now have really got to put their foot down, which they are doing, and they've got to make sure, whilst it's pressured, whilst it's tight, whilst it's quick, they've got to be controlled. And if they can do that, they'll create more opportunities. We can't just revert to long balls. We've got to maintain some composure about their football, but do it at a high pace. For me, at the moment, they're doing that. So this game's a long way from over.
Well, Trent Nash are telling Justin to hurry up a little bit. Taking a while to get off the ground. He was holding a right hamstring, actually, so hopefully everything's all right, whether he actually was injured or he was just bunging it on for the crowd.
He's bunging it on, mate. I know him as well as anyone. He'll be loving that, and he'll be hoping for a hang-on and a big celebration at the end with young Jock.
Here is Jim Fogarty. Hayden Bryce trying to keep it in, and runs over the sideline. Wind just picking up a little bit here at Magic Park. It's been pretty still today, Newcastle in Broadmeadow, and wind just sending the Hamilton balloons moving around to the left of us.
Yeah, it was predicted some rain today, so it's great that it's held off.
Yes, it has. It's been good, and as I said, the field is in pretty good condition. And now Hamilton make their change. So Pat Brown going off the ground, coming on for them. Today is Cody Lucas.
Cody will go into left back, and Andrew Swan up to the left wing where Pat Brown has just been substituted from.
Well, so for Bolch, this is an attacking move. Look, Pat Brown, you can't take away from what he does, but Bolch will be thinking he's got some big game experience and general experience to make things happen, and that's why he's made that change he has. And I support that one from Bolch, and a very smart move.
Well, Cody Lucas has played senior football at Valentine, and also he played a season of college football in America for Santa Barbara City College, so he has a bit of experience going over to America. Good trip for him. Number 15 for Hamilton. Now with Brent Hamill. Still Brent Hamill going down the near side. Mason Campbell controls it. A little bit of miscommunication between Bailey and Cody Lucas. Throw now for Hamilton.
What Hamilton have got to do now, Blake, is I think they need to maintain that high level of enthusiasm that they'd showed just after the goal was scored. You could tell, you almost smell the desperation, and now they've got to be careful that doesn't drop away. And Edgeworth, for me, can settle into the game and settle into the back piece of it, because if they do, they're going to be hard to beat if they get another goal.
Here's Keanu Moore, a little bit of space here for him. He has a shot straight to Danny Ireland.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Hamilton need to get one back soon. When there's about 10 minutes to go, it gets a bit rushed and panicked, so if they use that intensity now while they're still playing with a bit of freedom, that's their best opportunity to get back into it, I think.
Well, I don't think you can count Hamilton out at any stage. It is Olsmer down the right-hand side. Mason Campbell's doing well to shadow him out wide. He's got Keanu Moore back. He played it across to Hamill, but it was a bit too heavy, and Tom Davies will run it down just inside the sideline. Now to Reece Cooper. Nice ball from Mooney. Back to Cooper. Goes down. Hamilton down 2-0 last week. They fought back and got it back to 2-2. Here's another yellow card. Luke Walker goes into the referee's book. Second yellow card for Edgeworth.
Yeah, talking to Michael Bolch last night, he said that they took a lot of confidence coming back from 2 down. And, that sort of confidence, they know they can come back. So they're not necessarily going to think at any point that they're out of the game. These guys are battlers, they're winners, and they've got plenty of experience. So they won't go away on Edgeworth. So Edgeworth have to stay right on top of their defensive game for the rest of the period.
Played plenty of football with Hamilton as Mason Campbell just taking that free kick. He's played 76 matches, 9 goals for them. He hasn't scored one this year. Just 22 years of age. Plenty of experience under his belt in the NPL. He's actually a radiation therapist in Port Macquarie, so sure he'll be doing a bit of work up there once the season finishes. And gee, Kyle Hodges with the handball. I think he got a little push. He was hoping for the free kick himself, but Edgeworth won it for that handball. Davies chasing back hard. Brent Hamill and him have been having a good battle this afternoon. 20 minutes gone in the second half. 65 gone in the game. It's Edgeworth with a 1-0 lead. It was Brent Hamill with the goal, a penalty, after Aiden Bryce was felled in the box by Hamilton. Ultimate, I should say Hamill letting it run through, but it went straight to Davies. Evans, Smith, back to Evans, and we've got a yellow card for Simon Mooney. Simon Mooney now, so the yellows are coming out thick and fast now, Chris.
Yeah, I'm sure there was nothing in that. Mooney and Smith played together at Lake Macquarie, and they know each other well. They've you spent plenty of time training together and playing together. Simon wouldn't have meant any of that, but it's just one of those things.
So coming off Bray Smith, coming on Aaron McLaughlin. So Edgeworth have used up all their changes, and we've still got 25 minutes to go.
Well, this is surprising for me, because if we go into extra time and any of these other guys are carrying some bumps, then maybe.
Here's Brent Hamill with the free kick. It's going to be a free kick going Hamilton's way now.
Yeah, maybe
it's a massive risk.
It could be something that as a coach you regret later. You know, when you're on the sideline, you've got to make some calls. He's in his mind, he's right, we're 1-0 up, we've got our foot on the snake's head and we're not going to lift it off. I'm going to put on some fresh legs and make sure that doesn't happen. If he pulls that off, it's a masterstroke.
Yes, well, Mick Bulch kept one sub up his sleeve the whole match last week. He brought them on in extra time. So did Lambton as well. They were Dave Tancheski and Mick Bulch were conservative with their subs.
You know, I was talking to Reece Thompson from Maitland before the start of the game, and he was saying, you know, what a tough gig it is to be a coach. And he said anyone, even if you're coming last, he said, I'll always congratulate them and say well done, because of how tough a job it is. And, you know, you've got Damien Zane over there who's been making changes after change all year, and then he's making this one, which, to be honest, surprises me. But, you know, as I said before, they're in front and he wants to keep it that way.
Well, Hamilton are about to make another change. Jason Koricic is waiting on the sideline.
Another smart move from Bolts, because Coro can penetrate. He can make a difference. He's got the ability to lay the passes off when they matter in good positions of the park. So, you know, Bolchi's not got anything but victory on his mind, and he will be thinking, all right, we've got a good, 20, 25 minutes to go in this game. So we've got the opportunity to score, goals, and we've seen how quickly it can happen. So hopefully for Olympic, this move for Coro coming on is a good one.
Well, here we go, Simon Mooney whipping it in towards the front post there. And now sits up for Cody Lucas, and Jim Fogarty was having a flap at it, but was always going over. And here is the change. Koricic coming on, and Ben Coyne going off the ground. Blake, do you think Damien Zane has made the right decision by using all of his substitutions with 25 to go? Would have you done that?
No, I definitely would have. What Chris said, if they go into extra time, any injuries is going to take them down to 10 men. So you'd even maybe keep one for late into injury time to waste a bit of time. Maybe he's seen something that we haven't.
Yeah, look, I don't really think so, Blake. I think what he's doing is our team's in front, he's saying, and so we're going to play to win here. And we're going to make sure they've got the freshest 11 guys out in the park for the duration. Let's face it, all these guys can play 2 hours of football, most of. And if you're thinking, all right, well, we've got 25 minutes to go, I'm going to pull all my trumps out here and make sure that I've got the best team at any particular point in the game on the park. That's what he's thinking. I would say his worst nightmare is going to be someone rolls an ankle or someone gets a strain in their thigh or whatever it is, because that's when you've got to accommodate like it's a send-off.
Luke Walker controlling, and Keanu Moore with some space. He goes to Olsema down the far side. Still Brenton Olsema. Been fantastic for Edgeworth this year. He plays it towards the back post over the goal line. Olsema, 6 goals this year and played for Berkeley Vale last season, and he made 2 grand final appearances with Berkeley Vale in the Central Coast State League, so he knows what it's like to be in a grand final, Brenton Olsema. And as I said, he has been very good this year. Here is Walker. Now Goodchild. Hayden Bryce. Pasquale going over the top, but no Edgeworth players seem to be on the same page as him, and Olsema goes down and wins the free kick now. So Kyle Hodges, I don't know if he had to do that.
No, I wouldn't think that's something that he needs to be doing, and can't quite tell that's resulted in a...
It's a free kick, pretty much like a corner.
Okay. Wasn't sure if it was a corner or a free kick.
Here it's swinging in very viciously. Now it sits up for Aiden Bryce, who has the shot. Keanu Moore with a shot, and Hamilton blocked well there.
Olympic
Danny
on the counter.
Ireland. Well, Danny Ireland made a great save, and now Simon Mooney down this near side. Wow, he wins the throw, Aiden Bryce. That's fantastic work. Edgeworth fans, give him a massive round of applause.
Mooney's clearly not happy. He's thinking that's his.
I did see a double deflection. I didn't see who it went off last, though.
Yeah, he was also grabbing at his arm. I think he may have been saying it should have been a free kick for pulling him back.
Tom Davies now with the header away. Aaron McLaughlin holding it up, and Hamill keeping it in, maybe not keeping it in. And assistant referee saying it's gone over the sideline. Mooney flicking it on towards Goodchild. Edgeworth have kept him under control pretty well throughout the match today. Olsema, he's got Keanu Moore as well, near the top of the 18. Here's Hamill. Oh, Tom Davies trying to get a foot in, and Hamill, a little bit of a heavy touch. Hamill not happy with Davies. Hamill points at him and says, I was fouled by Tom Davies, a little push and shove. They've been going at it all afternoon, these two. Davies and Hamill.
Look, Brem was not taken out. He stayed strong on his feet. A lot of guys could have dropped there and got a free kick. He wanted to go inside him, backed himself. He's overhit it. But at the same time, when he's overhit, he's clearly saying that he's been struck. You contacted me when I was on my way. That's why he's not happy.
Well, I think Tom Davies has caused this problem himself. I don't think he gave Brent Hamill a little bit of a slap across the nose earlier in the game on a nose which is broken. And Brent Hamill didn't like that, as you wouldn't. And now all of a sudden it's exploded into a little bit of a heated contest between those two. It'll be funny to see. Interesting what does go on. Reese Cooper goes down. Pat Wheeler taking him down. Hamilton with the free kick. Simon Mooney, you'd expect. Simon Mooney, I think that injury it's caused him a few issues. His free kicks haven't been as good as what they have been earlier in the season.
Yeah, I mean, if he's got some sort of hip issue, some sort of rib cartilage type issue, I'm not sure exactly what it is. I'm surprised he's even out there.
And on his right leg as well, there's a lot of strapping tape.
Yeah, and so, it's interesting that he's even taking these free kicks. See where we go.
Here is Mooney, and it's well placed there by Simon Mooney. He did well, and just 26 years of age. He's only played 20 matches for Hamilton. First year this year, scored 9 goals, and 9 goals in this season for number 7. And he's also played for Broadmeadow Magic and Lake Macquarie, Simon Mooney. So was he at Lake Macquarie when you were there, Chris?
Yeah, he was. I was a big part of bringing him into the team. As I said, I've known him for a long time, and was delighted when he rang up to say he wanted to come and play.
Well, he's been a revelation for Hamilton this year. Probably one of the finds of the year. Well, not one of the finds, but one of the players of the year for them. Good child. It's hard to go past him as well. 13 goals this season. And he scored 13 last year for Charlestown. Didn't lose a game last year when he scored, and it's the same thing for Hamilton this year. No games lost when Goodchild gets on the board. Unfortunately, he didn't get the golden boot. The reason he didn't get the golden boot this year was Cale Bradbury. Fantastic year. Goals are plenty for Magic, so he grabbed the golden boot in 2015. Now Jacob Bailey going back to the far side of the ground, Cody Lucas. Now Swan getting into the 18. Get around, Wheeler's going to let it go over. He did very well, Pat Wheeler. And it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, real opportunity there for Swan. He gets past, which it looked for a moment he would. He's on goal with keeper to beat. So, this Hamilton's still in this, and we've got plenty to go. Still good 15-plus minutes.
Here's Davies with the header away. Evans getting right under it. Mason Campbell, Bailey. Now Hodges playing it to Korotic. So Edgeworth with all their changes made. Hamilton just with one to go. Bailey stabs it towards Mooney. It runs down over the sideline.
He'll be disappointed. Mooney's played a great little ball in, and then the simplest of pickups there from Bailey, and he's probably had his eye on the prize rather than the ball. So he'll be disappointed with that.
Blake, do you think Hamilton have got a goal in them in the final 15? It's Olsmer on the ball. Sorry, Blake. Blake, do you think Hamilton have got a goal in them in the last 15?
Sorry?
Do you think Hamilton have got a goal in them in the last 15?
Oh, for sure. I hope they do it to make it a good game. Well, I think they do. But I think Edgeworth are going to start defending extremely desperately, so it's going to have to be a very good goal, or maybe, on the other hand, a scrappy one.
Yeah, and the keys for Edgeworth is not to sit in and defend, because if you do that, then you're going to be playing in your middle and back third more often, which again, said it plenty of times, gives the other team the opportunity to be creating some chances. So it's what Edgeworth don't want to do. They don't want to sit in. They need to keep attacking in the way they have been. Zane's showed his cards here by making all of that come into play by putting all of his substitutions on. So the intention is not to sit in, but hopefully they won't.
Campbell across now to Bailey. Korotic trying to put it in the middle and slipped over. And over the sideline now. Throw for Hamilton. So they've only got 12 minutes, 15 seconds regulation time to go in this one. Bailey. Back across, and Wheeler. Olsem going down. He's got Keanu Moore inside. Keanu Moore with some space. Tom Davies going down in the box, but Danny Island is able to pick it up after he did slip over, and plays Jason Korotic down this near side, who missed a couple of years before this season with a patella injury, and has played senior football with Olympic and South Cardiff and started at Valentine Elibana. Cody Lucas to Andrew Swan. Andrew Swan looking to go down, but didn't. Kyle Hodges keeping it in, but he only kept it in straight to Brodie Taylor. And Brodie Taylor tried to get over Hodges, and Hodges will grab a yellow card too. So 2 yellow cards for each side. Mooney and Hodges for Hamilton, and Luke Walker and Brodie Taylor for Edgeworth. We'll see how much is the Edgeworth bench there. Having a little chat. Damien saying looking fairly relaxed. Ben Smith as well.
Justin Tannock, job done.
They look
Sitting
pretty
back
relaxed over there, Chris.
Sure do. You know, but they can look as relaxed as they like. Whether there's 12 minutes or there's 12 seconds, the game's not over.
Here's Brent Hamill taking it down to the byline, and Korotic playing it back. Well, thought I heard a whistle there, but Brodie Taylor on the volley. Edgeworth fans calling for the handball on Korotic. Wasn't given.
Big shout too.
I thought it was high, but a little bit high for a handball. Pasquale and Bailey come together. The two players. And here's a ball through. Ultima, can he get on the end of it? Ireland does well. I think they're the two players, Pasquale and Bailey, that do those 1%ers so well for both sides.
Yeah, absolutely, and they need to, because they to win the battle of the midfield, that's what you've got to do, and you just can't stop. You can't have a minute's break. You've always got to be ready, always ready to commit and put your body on the line at any moment.
Here's Mooney swinging it in. Hayden Bryce getting his right foot to volley it away. Hamill and Davies again come together. Olsmer on the ball. Brent Hamill still hopping up off the ground. Mooney. Now for Evans. Olsmer. Now for Moore, wide to Josh Evans. Just ran away from him a little bit. Here's Evans. Oh, he got right under that one, and it goes over the goal line. Aaron McLaughlin now with the corner kick. Danny Ireland, great take. 36 and a half gone. Mooney now. Brodie Taylor coming across. Tried to hold it up, and the throw goes to Hamilton, and we got another change.
See how quickly Brodie Taylor got across there? He's been 81 and a half minutes and he's still making a run like that. To have that much left in the tank, must be such a fit player, or must be running on adrenaline. That was a very good covering defensive run there.
Well, Alex Serapis comes on and going off the ground, number 13 for Hamilton, Mason Campbell. And that is definitely an attacking move. Mason Campbell playing in centre back, so Hamilton have just got to, they've got to throw everything at them now. They're playing with three at the back, Davies, Hodges and Cody Lucas.
Yeah, and that's the experience of Bolch. Saw him barking some instructions of the reformation, the shuffle of the formation. He knows at this point, probably in reality, 10 minutes left in this game, including extra time. He knows he's got to make some changes, and it's got to be risk involved here. So going to three at the back, that's what he's got to do. So Edgeworth now got to adjust to that. They've got to be smart enough to have a look to see across the formation how are we going to cater for the extra guy.
Davies with the ball, the header, Fogarty goes down low, and he has a kick at it, and the free kick goes to Edgeworth. And the Hamilton fans are throwing their white streamers onto the ground down near Jim Fogarty. Jim Fogarty going to he's going to clean up the pitch. We still wasted a little bit more time here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final attendance figures for today's match is 3,670. Thank you to
So 3,617. I believe that was the official attendance for the grand final today.
Looks like Foggs has spent some time at the barber shop looking after his Ned Kelly again this week, Ben.
Yes, he's been keeping that up the whole season.
Keep it up, Foggs.
And now Aiden Bryce. Keanu Moore rising with Korotic. Pat Wheeler and Josh Evans and Blake and Chris. I've got to find a man of the match from both of you two so we can go and have a chat to him at the end of the game.
Yeah, no problem. We'll assess that when we go. There's been some guys out there that have played some fantastic football. You know, Brent Hamill has been one of them, in particular for me. He's been very attacking in his nature. I think Kyle Hodges is another one for me that's done very well. consistently making tackles and keeping his back line in order. Still probably 7 or 8 minutes, depending on extra time.
Reece Cooper, well, we saw him score the equaliser last week to get them through. It was the winner in the end. The equaliser in the match against Lambton. Andrew Swan cutting it across. Luke Walker with the side of his left boot, knocking it over the sideline. Just easing the pressure a little for Hamilton.
Good child had timed his run perfectly if it had come in the right fashion for him. Wasn't to be.
Andrew Swan over the sideline. Back to Lucas, playing it across the face. Mooney with a header and it goes over the bar. Jim Fogarty now with a goal kick. 5 minutes to go. There's the Hamilton faithful behind Jim Fogarty. Blake, who have you thought's been the standout for on the pitch this afternoon?
Aiden Bryce for me has been very good at the back. He's won a lot in the air. He gets forward well, and he's defended extremely well, in my opinion.
Who have you thought, Chris? Who's been your standout?
For me, it's been Brent Hamill. They continue to win this game. They will. They'll be thanking him after the sheds because he's put in a game both in attack and defence. Has been very dangerous very often. He's never been missing in any of the hard work, and he's been there when they've been in the attacking third, creating chances for them. So guys like him are the guys that are experienced. They've got some grand final composure about him, and he wasn't overawed, and I think that he's done a terrific job so far. Couple that with he's had his nose all over his face, and he hasn't pulled out of anything. So that's probably where I'm headed with that one.
So Aiden Bryce and Brent Hamill, they're into the final. The final of our Man of the Match stakes. I'll have to come up with who I think I'll have to have the deciding vote. Simon Mooney standing over it. Well, that's at the moment. If Hamilton get back into it, there's still a few twists and turns left in this one.
Yeah, this game's not over yet. This is a grand final. We'll go down to the last second of the game.
Here is Mooney, stabbing it high. Fogarty rises and punches it over. He did well, Jim Fogarty. Hamilton now with a free kick. At the corner, I should say, from this near side. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Andrew Swan's coming across just in case they are going to take the short one. No, he's going to take it. Simon Mooney's heading back.
You won't waste any time with this either. Straight here we go.
On the left boot. He whips it in. Edgeworth heading it away. Simon Mooney running after it. Brodie Taylor's got a little bit more pace, and Mooney evades him with great skill. Mooney whips it in, but it's straight down the throat of Jim Fogarty. He went up easy as you like and took it. Brodie Taylor and Tom Davies now. Head-to-head battle between those two in the 18, and Davies and Brodie Taylor with a push and shove. Two young players on the park. Tom Davies 18, Brodie Taylor 19. Coming to blows out there. It's been in the thick of things. Been in the thick of things, Tom Davies. Hamilton fans liking his attempt at trying to throw the streamer off the ground. Danny Oland, the floodlights are on here at Magic Park. And now with Cooper. Pasquale on the ball. Still Pasquale. Still Lockie Pasquale. Still going. Olsen with a shot. Danny Ireland, great save. The follow-up across the face. Brodie Taylor off the post and in. And that should be the grand final for Edgeworth. The number 9 has struck a massive blow into Hamilton Hearts. And Edgeworth now with a 2-0 lead with less than 90 seconds to go. And he scores his 6th goal. I said Brent Hamill's 7th was very important. Well, his 6th has been just as important.
What a finish that was. Straight off the inside of the post. No chance for Ireland.
Well, here's a run now. A long-range shot. Fogarty gets down and takes it nicely. Serapis with the long-range shot.
You can see the body language of the coaches. Zane's up out of his chair. His body is pumping with adrenaline. Michael Bolch, old mate, sitting over there sitting with his feet outstretched, probably thinking, oh no, not again.
Brody
Couple
Taylor.
of minutes to go and Olympic, they won't stop, I can guarantee you that. And this will show the character of their side. You've got to think it's all probably getting a bit late now.
Yellow card for Jacob Bailey now. Well, the goal set up perfectly for Brody Taylor, and Hamilton fans are making the walk out of the stadium. Magic Park here. McLaughlin down the line for Brody Taylor. Is he going to go down to the corner? Tom Davies coming at him. He sat on his bum, Tom Davies. Brody Taylor and him, another battle in the corner. Still Davies. Nice skill early. He's giving it straight to McLaughlin. Simon Mooney, the middle of the park. Evans, now Reese Cooper. Pat Wheeler over the top. Hodges and Olsema wins the header there. Nice control from Davies. Oh, he got cleaned up by Olsema, and Hamilton win the free kick. Now, how much added time do we have? I didn't get that.
I didn't get it either, but I'm gonna guess it's 3, which would give us another 2.
Now the ball with Goodchild. Back to Mooney. Here's Evans on the ball. Diving in with Serapis. And free kick to Edgeworth now. So it's all over bar the shouting now. Edgeworth a 2-0 lead. It's going to be the same scoreline as last year's grand final if it remains the same. And it's going to be the first time since 02-03 that either Hamilton and Magic haven't won a grand final in a 2-year period. 2 years in a row that both sides haven't been able to win a title.
Both Blake and I have picked the other way on Olympic, and that's what I love about grand finals, because they're just so unpredictable. Because on the day, it's just who wants it the most. I know it's a cliche, but gee, they've battled hard out here today, both teams, and there's been some great football.
And here goes Goodchild down the sideline, over the byline. A late corner for Hamilton. See if they can cause any late drama. Well, they had a moment of agony on this field, Edgeworth, back in the FFA Cup rounds when they were knocked over by Melbourne City. And now it's a chance for them to feel the ecstasy. What a great performance it has been from them this season. They've been the best side across the season, and they have been deserved major and minor premiers this year, and they'll play Moreton Bay United in 2 weeks up at the Queensland Sports and Aquatic Centre in Brisbane. We'll keep you posted on whether we are covering that or not. Maybe a chance. We'll see what does happen, but we're sorting that through at the moment. And Hamilton fans now making their way out the gates. They don't want to see the title being given to Edgeworth. Andrew Swan, they've had some tough battles this year, both these two sides. Was shared before this game. 3-1, a 3-1 win. It was to Edgeworth, and a 2-0 win to Hamilton, their win back in round 2.
I'll just take the moment to compliment Coach Michael Bolch. I think he's done a fantastic job with his side. It'll all be about Edgeworth in a minute, but just for this little piece, he's got them fit earlier this year than what he had done, and he's made them a lot more competitive and bringing a couple of extra plays into the side. They've been a force all year. For me, when I saw them early in the year, I thought this is a team to beat. Take nothing away from Edgeworth, but look, I just want to compliment Michael Bolch on the way that he's gone about putting his team together this year, and he holds the club together very well. The players, he's very well respected, and you've had a good year, mate, and I know this one was hopefully your day, but it just sometimes finals, that's the way they go. On the other hand, just before we sign off, great effort from Zaney. Perfect start to your coaching career.
Yeah, what a year it's been for him. Here's the yellow card going, little Keanu Moore shoved to the ground. Trent Nash didn't see that. Had his back turned while it was all going on, and Reece Cooper now. Aiden Bryce knocking it away. And Jacob Bailey and Walker. Is Walker going to grab a yellow? Well, he's off, isn't he, Luke Walker? He's going to be sent off. Well, that's not a good way for the captain to end. And Luke Walker has been sent from the field in the grand final in the final moments. I don't know why he had to do that. Now it is. Fucked. Well, here we go. Pat Wheeler and Alex Serapis going at each other. A few emotions.
Walker will be disappointed in one sense, only for a moment. He'll be there ready to celebrate all night and probably for the next 2 days.
Well, the fourth official saying you've got to go. Mick Bolt shakes his hand and says, well played, mate. And poor old Luke Walker, he's going to have to head down the tunnel. It's a sad way for him to end an incredible season, which for the first half he didn't play. In the second half, he's added to Edgeworth's outstanding qualities.
You know what, the Edgeworth players, this is a likely scenario where they'll do their thing on the pitch, but they'll get in and celebrate with their captain as quick as they can.
That was a pretty soft yellow card, wasn't it, for a send-off?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's what I was thinking when he gave it. I thought I'd forgotten that he'd even had the first one, and when he got the yellow card, I thought, oh, that's very soft.
Look, to be honest, I was watching and I didn't see much in it myself.
Here we go. That is full time. Edgeworth are the champions, the major and minor premiers. They are the first side to do the double other than Magic since 1999. The Edgeworth fans run onto the ground. And what a season it's been. And this is the first major premiership they've had since 2010. I'm going to head and get some interviews, but Chris, if you just want to sum up the match for us, and Blake as well.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Terrific game. Look, it was always going to be like this, where we're going to have fast action early in the piece, end-to-end football, very tough and physical early through the stages of the game. Yeah, sure, it did settle midway until we got the goal from Edgeworth, and then seeing Olympic really pipe themselves up for the next sort of 5 to 10 minutes opened the game right up. Interesting decisions by Zane, mentioned before. You know, it could be a stroke of stupidity, as I think he said, or it's a master stroke. And for me, that was a master stroke because he's made sure that he's got all his best players physical and fit out there at the one time, and he finished it off really well by not sitting in. That's the way that I saw it. Blake, how did you think?
Yeah, absolutely spot on. I think two things that you said, that Hamilton needed to keep up their intensity, otherwise Edgy could grab a late goal, and that's exactly what happened. They dropped their intensity a little bit, and then Edgy did come in with that late goal. Also, Zane's substitutions, you said if it works out it'll be a masterstroke, and wasn't it ever. Keep having his freshest and, well, not best, but yeah, freshest 11 on the field, it has paid off, and congratulations to both sides, but well done to Edgeworth. A great season, and that, as Ben said, the first side to do the double in many years. So we're just going to, that's it from us up here. We're going to throw down to Ben. He's got Bren Hamill on the field.
We're here with our Dustland House man of the match in the NPL Grand Final, Bren Hamill. And Bren, how good was that?
Indescribable. Absolutely indescribable. It's my first grand final. I've missed 5, and it's epic.
Now, I understood you're going to the game with a broken nose. Is it still not good? How did you cope with it?
No, it's still broken toe, broken nose, but it's fine. It's fine.
That's a few injuries going into a grand final.
Yeah, well, it's just that stage of the year. Probably 50% of their team's going with niggles, 50% of our team's going with niggles. It's a bit of a lotto at the end.
Now, I spoke to you a few weeks ago when you were man of the match in the game, the final round of the season. You said you got so much confidence out of that FFA Cup game. Came back into Magic Park. There was agony. That match, the last moment, losing the game. How good does it feel? And how much have you learnt playing here again and winning the grand final?
Oh, that match against Melbourne City helped us a great deal, just to prepare for a big match. You can see we come out of this game out of the sheds really well. They were seemed a bit quiet, and I dare say we're just used to big matches, or not used to, but we'd had one this year. Helped us prepare for that.
Now you've got Moreton Bay United in a couple of weeks, so you'll be back at training. Are you looking forward to the trip up north?
Yeah, the boys can't wait. It's going to be epic.
You're little bit warmer up there, so it should be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Probably have the first half of this week off and probably get together towards the end of this week and have a light session and then move on to next week and prepare for that match.
Well, have a great good luck in that match and have a great off season and good luck again for the new year next year, and thanks for everything this year.
Just before I go, I'd just like to say hello to my mum. She couldn't be here today, so love you, mum. Wish you could have been here, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thanks for that, Brent. Congratulations, mate. And, see you next season.
Thanks very much to Bar TV.
Thanks, mate. If you didn't hear that, he just said thanks to Bar TV. It's been great this year here in the NPL to cover all 18 rounds and then the two finals matches, the semi-final and the grand final here today. So thanks so much for all your support throughout the year. Thanks to Chris and Blake. Thanks to Daniel on the camera and Isaac who's producing. Jack who's also done heaps of work for us this year. It's been a great season here on the NPL on Bar TV. We'll let you know about that Edgeworth match against Moreton Bay. But until next season, if we don't see you again, thanks for watching the NPL 2015 on Bar TV.